A very good evening to everyone present here. It's a truly matter of immense pride and joy for me to welcome you all to this very insightful 94th online interactive session, which also marked the 70th Leadership Development Program by Corporate Mentor at DSPSR. I extend my heartfelt greetings to our esteemed honorable guest speaker for the day, Mr. Arvind T. Sir, respected honorable chairman, Professor B.P. Singh Sir in absentia, honorable senior professor Dr. Ajay Kumar Singh Sir, honorable director of the college, Professor Dr. Mahesh Sharma Sir, respected registrar Dr. R.S. Singh Sir, respected faculty members, and my dear fellow student. I, Asta, a proud student of BCom Honors Batch 2023-26 at DSPSR, feel deeply honored to stand before you today. DSPSR has always been committed to academic excellence, industry integration, and holistic student development. And today's session is yet another meaningful step in this direction. To commence this session on an auspicious note, let us now take a part in the symbolic ritual of lighting the virtual lamp. This act represents the removal of darkness and ushering in wisdom and enlightenment. May this flame of knowledge guide us towards clarity, confidence, and success in the days ahead. Now, I kindly request Mr. Arun sir to play the virtual lamp lighting video.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा शुभं भवतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं सुखसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते.
It is my great honor to welcome our distinguished speaker for today, Mr. Arvind T. Sir. Sir is a seasoned global technology and business leader over 25 years of experience, renowned as technology change agent. He is currently served as Senior Director, R&D, Global Product and Technology at ADP, always designing for people, where he leads large-scale technology and product transformation initiative. Under his leadership, ADP's SaaS-based HCM product significantly expand its client base across the European and APAC regions, transforming operational efficiency and user experience. Sir has pioneered digital transformation, cloud modernization, and enterprise-grade solution, including the shift from monolithic system to microservices and micro front ends. With his deep expertise in AI, cloud, platforms, and organization change leadership, he has successfully guided global enterprises like ADP and Cognizant towards operational excellence and business growth. Beyond his corporate leadership, he is committed to talent development, innovation, and creating high impact technology solutions that drive sustainable progress. So, your journey as a global leader, innovator, and mentor is truly inspiring. Your career reflects the perfect balance of technical mystery, strategic vision, and leadership excellence. And I'm sure today's session will be an eye opener and a valuable learning experience for all of us. On behalf of DSPSR, I warmly welcome you, Mr. Arvind T. Sir, and we look forward to your insight and guidance today. We are equally privileged to have as a moderator today Ms. Taj, a dedicated BCom honor student, batch 23-26 at DSPSR. She is highly motivated, finance enthusiast with a strong foundation in financial strategies, including risk management, quantitative research, and corporate finance. Through her academic excellence, certification, and explore to simulation with leading institutions like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, and Tata Consultancy Services, she has gained valuable expertise in analysis, decision making, and financial modeling. Her presence as today's moderator reflects the spirit of DSPSR, empowering the student to lead, engage, and grow through such interactive platform. On behalf of DSPSR, I warmly welcome you, Ms. Taj, and we are delighted to have you moderate today's session.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Mrs. Astha. It is our privilege to welcome you, Mr. Arvind TN, sir, to the 94th online interactive session. We are truly honored to have you with us today. I'm certain that your insights will make the session not only highly engaging for the students, but also enriching for everyone present here. To make this session more interactive and beneficial to our students, I would now like to ask you, sir, some questions focused on student development and career growth and opportunities. Shall I, sir?
Yeah, sure. Raj. And before I begin, right, thank you for this great opportunity, and thank you, Asta, for your kind words. I thank DSPR for moderating this whole session. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So I would like to ask you, sir, what motivated you to choose a career in technology and leadership?
Okay, so it all started, during my childhood days. So, I had a friend, who had a small computer. It's called the Sinclair. It's way back in 1990s. It's a computer where it'd be something like a keyboard, and your monitor is actually your TV, and your it doesn't have any hard disk as of today. So we used to use a tape recorder. I don't know how many of you know what a tape recorder is. So it's basically a tape using which you play songs. So using that, we used to read data and then we need to put it. So he had that, and that fascinated me. And then I was doing some amount of basic programming work on that, and then that's how I got interested into computer programming. And this also made me to change my school. Once I completed my 10th standard, the school did not have a computer science group back then. So because of that, I changed my school, and I had a passion towards computers, and that's how I landed in a technology job.
Thank you so much, sir. We truly respect your passion. So my next question is, sir, how your early experience shaped your vision as a technology leader?
Okay, so not a planned a thing like me. Was not something that I planned for. So I enjoyed working with computers, and that's where it kickstarted. And I had a lot of challenges. In the beginning, like I had a lot of failures. So, for example, I couldn't get a computer science degree, so I had to join BSc Physics. And then parallelly I did a computer course. So I did not, that did not stop me. So I did a computer science course, and then for the next, after I completed my degree for the next 2 years, I couldn't land in a job, primarily because I was not doing engineering, and there was no campus hire, like now. And every day I used to look at the newspaper, look at where the openings are, and then I used to go and walk in. But I continued my passion. I knew that this is where uh, my passion is and my heart is. I continued for almost 2 years, and then that's when I started. I got a career break
Sir, your passion towards
in
technology, we truly respect that.
1999. Till then, small kind. I started transitioning into a leadership role, but it was not something that I planned for.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. So now I would like to ask you that there will be one turning point in your life, in your career, that change your perspective as a leader.
2003, I was working for for a local, global capability center. It was basically an Italian bank, and they had an offshore development center in India. And then, I was pretty much developing software for them. It was basically the online trading applications, which had a market share of 33%. Yes. And what so happened banks in India, similarly, which basically governs all the banks that are run in US. And this particular branch that they had in US did not have any system in place, and because of which they were non-compliant. And I was sent to US to ensure that in a span of just 6 months, I ensure that all the Fed regulations are all complied with and all of that. Till then, I was just a developer, and I was managing things. But the organization, showed a lot of trust in me, and even I did not believe that this is something that I can do. But the organization believed in me, and then they sent me to US to get this job done. And the kind of support and all of that I got from the organization to get things moving in a record span of 4 months, I was able to bring in all the regulations, compliance and all of that, and we were able to renew our license. So that was a turning point where I felt that I had some level of leadership quality in me, where in which I can lead and make things possible within the organization and for the organization.
Okay, sir. So, would you like to share the biggest leadership challenge you faced in your 25 plus years of career and how you overcame it?
Okay, a lot of challenges, not just one. So to name, the first one is basically I had a timeline within 6 months. I need to ensure that the federal bank compliance is all set. So that is one big challenge. The second big challenge was I was basically running a Microsoft Center of Excellence in Cognizant. So it was basically a cost center. When I say cost center, it means that we don't generate revenue. It's basically where Cognizant spends money on us, and then while we give something back in return, it is not still considered as a revenue center. And I had to transform this whole unit into a profit making center. So that was another big challenge I had in my leadership, and I joined there as a team member. Yeah. And gradually I became start leading the team. So I also had some of my peers who were some of my peers, and once I became the leader, they were also reporting to me. So it was also a big I need to make them understand that certain tough decisions I take, I need to make them understand and get things moving. So that was another big challenge. The other challenges are all on appraisals, to whom to give promotions and all of that. So you're always on a very tight budget, and you need to choose who's the best performer, and you need to reward based on the performance and all of that, right? So that is every year. That's a huge leadership challenge that you keep facing year on year. So yeah, like this, I had several challenges.
So, we do truly appreciate that you had challenges in your career and you overcame it perfectly. So, my next question is uh, how would you align technology strategies with long term business goals?
Okay, so technology and the business, right? Okay. So we'll have to, it doesn't go hand in hand, right? So it is always about what kind of business problems you are trying to solve, and for that particular business problem, what is the right technology stack, that you would have to use to get that particular problem solved. So if I have to give an example, so let us say last year you bought a car. Okay. Now, it's almost 1 year, 2 years down the line. There will always be new cars that are coming in, new models that are coming in, latest spec that are coming in. But at the end of the day, will you be willing to buy as and when a new car comes in? Will you be willing to buy, right? As a business, you wouldn't, because at the end of the day, a car is helping you to transport you from one location to another location. And as long as it is able to meet that particular requirement, you will not even be looking at changing your car. The same thing also applies to the business, right? So when it comes to the business, as long as you are solving a particular business problem, they do not care about what technology you are using in the background. Of course, the technology plays a crucial role in terms of profitability, the margin, and all of that. So as long as you are meeting those hygiene factors, right? Technology, typically the organization do not care. All they care is about, are we solving the business problem, or are we solving the client's problem in the most efficient way that makes my business more competitive and marketable. That's what matters. Technology is not a matter.
Okay, sir. So my next question is, the most exciting project you have worked on at ADP that brought the large scale transformation.
Okay, so again, there are several instances. So one, if I could highlight, is basically the HCM product that we had was pretty much was sold as a single country offering. So when I say it as a single country offering, so let us say I have my product for India. So for India, the product is very, very fine tuned towards the payroll processing in India, because it is completely different. Like, for example, here our taxation is a little bit different when compared to the other countries. Yeah. So like that, we had products that we can sell for each and every country. Now imagine there is a global or a multinational company like Pepsi or Coke, multinational companies where they have a head office in USA, and then they have the branch offices in multiple countries. So you can't keep selling them different products for each and every country, right? So you want to sell one product to them so that they can start processing the payroll for all the countries that they are in. Correct? So you need not want to give them different products based on the countries. So we came up with an IHCM, we came up with a product called the multi-country offering. So which basically, you have a one single product which will help you to manage employees across different countries. And in each of these countries, it will also comply with the local tax and the payroll related compliance, and then it will start processing. So we onboarded around 65 countries in the span of 6 months, and then we were able to quickly launch this product to the market, and that was a huge success for us. And that one, I would say, it has a huge achievement, at least from an ADP point of view.
Thank you so much, sir. So my next question is, how human expertise with automation and technology driven industries?
Okay, so when you look at automation, so there are different types of tasks that you do on your day-to-day operations, right? So there could be tasks that are repetitive in nature, and the repetitiveness is something that you need to measure. So that repetitiveness, is it something that you do it on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, or based on certain events? All right. For example, the event could be that at the end of the month, maybe you are doing a lot of things, on a particular, at the end of every month, you do certain things. Yeah. So these are all the repetitiveness in nature. And the repetitive task is the only thing that you can automate. Yeah. And the remaining things is something that you cannot do, because if you are trying to automate something that is not repetitive, then you're not getting the best return on investment on the effort that you're putting into the automation. Yeah. So you need to look at from what aspects that you need to look out for. And then if there is a repetitiveness, then that also becomes a toil, right? When I say toil, so if I give a repetitive task to an employee, he might get bored. He or she might get bored after a certain point in time, because it is repetitive in nature. There is completely no learning. and it also the employee becomes stagnant, in that particular role, right? So you need to always look out for what is the repetitive task that I can automate, so that I can free up the time for the employee to do something more innovative and creative.
Okay, sir.
So that's
My next Okay, sir. So my next question is, how working in different regions shaped your understanding of leadership and technology?
okay. The first thing is that different countries have different culture, and they also have different mindset. So that is something that you need to understand and respect, right? And for that, the adaptability is very, very key. So that is one thing I would like to highlight. The second is you also need to be sensitive to the cultural aspects. So, for example, in India, if you say 5 minutes, I'll okay, give me 5 minutes, I'll come back to you. It's basically it's actually 1 hour or 2 hours, right? But if you go to US or to Europe and you say 5 minutes, it's actually 5 minutes. Yeah. And similarly, if you go to Japan and you talk about quality, the quality is completely different. The level of quality that we are looking out here and the definition of quality is completely different. So there is always a context for any of the terms that we are using. There is a context. The context is basically the country, and the country is basically the cultural, and there are various other aspects that needs to be looked at. So that is one. The second is the key trend is basically is that if you take USA is all about speed. Yeah, how soon you can deliver with the latest tech stack or the latest offering and all of that. It's all about that. If you take Europe is always about uh, precision, uh, you know the team, and also create that kind of a mindset for each of these countries. And that's where you need to start understanding the people first and the culture, to start influencing them.
Okay, sir. So my next question is, so how you handle scaling ADP's clients reach from 800 to over 4,500 in global markets?
There are various aspects that you can look at, right? So one is, what is the the minimal set of items that we need to do to ensure that you know we looked at what we can do about it. So that is one area that we looked at. The second area that you need to look out for is what is the potential of the product that you could have. So if I may use an example, market that you have for a movie, right? So you have a movie, right? So one is you can do, and then in different regions of India, more, from the region for which that particular movie was started. Again, coming to a movie kind of a thing, you have other platforms to which you can monetize the revenue from that movie, right? Like for example, the OTT platforms that you have and things like that, using which you can monetize that particular movie and as copyright for the music and all of.
Yes, but there is some network issue, I hope.
Okay. So I don't know till what point you are able to hear my response to the earlier question.
So still there is some network issue.
Am I audible?
Yes,
We can hear you. We can
yes,
hear you.
Okay, okay. Sorry for the issue.
No problem. It happens.
Sorry. So, my next question is, so, one global lesson that every student here should learn before entering into the corporate world.
Okay. So so you will always have to look at, what is the problem that you can solve on any given day, right? So that's a very, very key thing. Corporate world is completely different. So when I say it's come to changes, till we are in college, we have always been graded objectively, right? So when I say objectively, everyone, and then you'll be able to prioritize and all of one question or on that, and then you are graded. So everything is fair, and everything happens, and then you will exactly know where you are. But when the moment you enter into the corporate space, you are now moving from an objective mindset where you have till now you have been graded objectively, you have been measured objectively, and now you are getting into a subjective. Two different equally compared two different people working in an organization, primarily because the work that they would have done would be completely different, the environment and the nature in which they have worked will be completely different, the constraints in which they have delivered and all that. But still, when it comes to choosing and all of that, there is always a level of subjectivity that comes into play. So, and there will not be, you will never have instant gratification, right? When I say instant gratification, let us say you do something very well, no one will come to you and say that you have done something very well. do not expect complete on time, taken for granted. Yeah, so like that there are multiple mindset that you need to change. One is the mindset, and the other is basically a problem solving. These two things you should global learning for.
Okay, sir. So my next question is, uh, what essential technical skills students should focus on to succeed in today's world?
Okay, so the technology keeps changing. Yeah, so today you will have one technology, and in my career it was C, that's how I started. And then we had this the desktop based programming, client server based programming that came in. And then you had this Windows 95 came in, came in, and then that came in, and then and now today we are having AI, and even this AI is now getting outdated. So we are now getting into quantum based computing and all of that. So the technology keeps changing, but what I would recommend everyone is learn at least one program. If at all you are looking at computer as your career choice, ensure that you at least learn the fundamentals. No matter whether in what stream you go in, ensure that your fundamentals are really very strong. So as long as your get through any of the hurdles that is coming in. So that is number one. Number two, you have to be a continuous learner. So you cannot stop. Once you are coming out of college, it doesn't mean that you have to stop studying. You will always be a continuous learner. You need to try out things. Ensure that my thing is ensure that your fundamentals are strong. Be a continuous learner. Look at the trend that is coming in, and then try to adapt to that particular trend. Don't resist a trend. That's how I'll put it.
So consistency in anything is really important.
Yes,
Okay.
consistency is.
So my next question is, how important communication and leadership skills are important for technician professionals?
Okay, so communication is highly critical. The reason why is, unlike your, the schools and in, colleges where you'd be working individually, or maybe you'd be working, as a small team and doing some small projects. When it comes to organizations, there are multiple business units and multiple people with whom you need to collaborate and, work. So communication is very, very critical. That removes a lot of ambiguity in whatever work that is done by the respective individual. So that is very, very key. The second part everyone, and it will help you to influence the decision making process, or in some cases it will help the respective individual to help in uh, communicating the various decisions that has been made and why it has been made, and then bring all the other stakeholders into alignment and ensure that the project is delivered, right? So alignment, stakeholder management, and what you're doing, and then is all very, very essential. And for that, communication is really a key part, uh, for any of the work that is being done. So communication is like marketing, right? So if you don't market, even though the product is good, the product will not sell. That's another point of view, that needs to be looked at.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. My next question is, what mistakes freshers should avoid when starting their corporate careers?
So that is something that you cannot expect. Comparison, right? So that when you compare, with your peers, maybe from your college or even from others, definitely, there would be some level of differences that would come in terms of pay or in terms of the nature of work that a person is doing, or someone would be bragging about, hey, I'm working on the latest tech stack, and another guy would say that, hey, there are these different things that would put a lot of peer pressure, on the fresh grads who are joining in. My thing is, do not focus or the initial years is all about how to the various way of working world, right? So that is one thing that would come in. The second thing that needs to be looked at is, at least in the first company that you're joining, at least be in the company for at least for 3 years. The reason is, it would take at least 6 to 9 months for you to be on, for you to be fully corporatized, start getting into the vibe of the company, and and there will be a lot of training that is provided to you, so that's when you start adjusting to the corporate world. So in that, the first 9 months would go away, right? And then the next 1 year is something where you will struggle. There will be a lot of struggles. It is like swimming, right? So initially you get into the water, you'll not be able to swim. So there will be a lot of struggles. You will feel highly uncomfortable, in that particular environment. And, sometimes you might not even think, things are going in the right direction and all of that. But the first, the next 1 year is when, you will start working, and, and you'll be struggling a lot. Once things got settled in, the next 1 year is when you will start contributing real value. And that's when you will really understand the nature of work that you have done and the ROI that you are bringing to the table. Yeah. Now, without this, if you resign a company, in less than 3 years, you had some learning in that company, but what is that learning? As long as you have not applied those learnings, it is all theoretical knowledge. You'll be able to get past an interview, but you will always struggle. And what will happen over a period of time is, you will always have that self-doubt, whether I'll be able to survive in this company for 3 years or not, right? But jumping, hopping is all fine. Today's, at least, when you are looking to work in a particular company, look at least 3 years and then think about, jumping. That's my advice.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your advice. My next question is, so how leaders can manage attrition and keep teams motivated in high pressure team times?
So in today's competitive world, it is very tough to keep a particular team motivated, right? So when I say motivation, there are different aspects of motivation. of the motivation, and they the employee is looking for, right? So for example, let us say an employee is looking out for a job, and he or she finds a job, and that is basically 1x or 2x their current salary. Definitely, no matter what you say to them, they will not be sticking to the organization. Yeah. So that's nothing you can do about it. So the only way in which you can manage a process dependent. But having said that, salary is basically the last thing, due to which an employee would leave an organization. Typically, an employee would leave because of a bad manager. Yeah. Or he or she is not feeling valued in the organization, right? Or the nature of work is not so challenging, intellectually for that particular employee. So there are several ways in which you need to look at how you can engage with the employee with empathy, and also look at what is their interest area, and look at providing opportunities in those areas. Having said that, the manager will also have some level of constraints, because let us say today AI is the talk of the world, right? But from an organization perspective, I have only organization need is I need to have X number of people still working on a certain tech stack, and I can provide opportunities to only a few handful of people on AI. Then no matter what I do, I'll not be able to motivate and keep the people in those particular areas, right? So there are, it is all, based on the which the manager and the and his direct relationship that they have, and the trust, that they have each other is all very critical. But job, and that job is way, then there is nothing you can stop, from the a person leaving your organization. Of course, unless and until you're able to really influence and have a meaningful conversation with that person, it's very, very difficult from a retention, point of view.
Okay, sir. My next question is how you personally deal with failures or setbacks which arrives in large scale projects.
Okay, so setbacks. So what you need to actually do is, especially in large scale projects and other projects that we do, we always need to look out for risk. What could happen, right? So you need to identify the various risks that are coming in, and you'll also have to come up with a framework, like for example, identifying the risk. What is the probability of that particular risk to happen? By when do you think it will happen? And if at all this risk happens, risk, and what is the mitigation factor? So and the kind of impact that it can make, you need to have to ensure that that risk never happens, right? So this is a basic program management, philosophy that needs to be looked at. Certain risks that you can never predict, you have to be street smart in looking at how to navigate that particular problem, and then get things started. And as a leader, you have a particular plan, right? So you always have to deliver. You can't give excuses. You can give excuses as long as you have saying that, hey, I had this go, and then ensure that it is communicated it 1 week down the line, maybe to till the last minute. Wait for the last minute, right? It's a car, and the delivery is supposed to happen next week. Okay, now assuming that there is some risk that is going on where from a showroom perspective they will not be able to deliver you the car on time. If that showroom person has called you and he had set the expectation upfront saying that, hey, we are facing these problems, because of which maybe we'll not be able to deliver your car next week, but I'll try my best. If you're transparent enough, then that itself is a mitigation factor. But let us say you don't inform your customer that you're not going to meet the deadline, and on the day where you go to the showroom and you are awaiting delivery of the car, and now if I tell you the car can be delivered, you will start becoming emotional. Your logical thing will go away. I'll get my car today. I've come here well prepared with that expectation. You can't deliver the car, right? So look at that kind of a thing, right? So that's where the communication is also key. Always, deliver the bad news first. That's very, very critical. And be transparent and keep all the stakeholders informed what is happening. And the other thing that you definitely need is ask for help. Don't think that you can solve all the problems. So that you are human, you are also vulnerable in asking for help. As a leader, you are shameless, right? So our friends, they will mock us and they will do anything, but within friends we are always shameless. So that's how, as a leader, you'll have to be shameless with your team, and you should not be afraid in asking for help. That's very, very critical.
Absolutely, sir. My next question is, sir, how can students prepare for global opportunities from college?
Okay, so today the perspective is completely changing, right? So if you look at it today, India is the fourth you know growing economy, right? The fourth largest economy in the world. So very soon we are going to own in the world. So the global opportunities are, my thing is, look at what is happening around you and seize the opportunity. For example, being a startup, you want to do something from a startup perspective, start doing it. The world will come to you. Even if you have an amazing idea, all it needs is you need to have an amazing idea, solving that, creating a solution for that idea is now very simple. You have a lot of AI, low code, no code, a kind of an environment. It can generate the solution for you, right? So that's a huge opportunity. Seize it. Now, the reason why I'm saying, to seize this is, once you get into a job and all of that, you get into the, you become in a very comfortable position of every month you start getting a salary, and then that amount, you are dependent on that amount, and that creates a chain, and it'll stop you from creating a startup. And it will also help you that the risk now for you to fail is very low compared to you taking a startup, a dream 3 years down the line, or 4 years down the line, or 10 years down the line. Yeah. So if at all you're thinking, think of a startup. If you're not a risk taking a person, you still want a very comfortable, you want to get into a job and those kind of things, still go for it. But there are a lot of global opportunities that are coming now to India. Right? You also have a lot of options, and then look at doing your MS. You can become you can get a legal degree. So that is another option. You need to start exhibiting your work, right? So look at options through which you can spread your brand, right? So more than a resume, can you showcase your work? For example, there are a lot of open source contribution that you can do. You can start blogging, you can start showcasing your projects real time to a lot of players, right? So look at the ways and means in which you can showcase your skill on the public world. There are a lot of you can also use a lot of stacks, like for example, there are a lot of groups that are there, Google meetups. If you look at the Google meetup, you have various interest groups. For example, there is a startup group, there is a cloud-based group, there is a group on AI in your local area where like-minded people meet and exchange ideas and do all of those kinds of things, right? So, don't be, siloed in your thought. Start exploring, start meeting different people, start meeting, the area in which, you want to get into, be very focused. Start meeting people who are working in that particular area, interact with them, create your network, and then no matter what happens, you will start, the opportunities will start coming to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your time and thank you for such insightful information. If anyone wants to ask sir from questions from sir, they can.
Now forum is on for all. If anyone asks any question, they can ask. If anyone want to ask any question, please unmute yourself.
Or you can raise your hand, or you can write in the chat box,
The unmute option
or
is enabled. In
or
last 5 minutes,
unmute yourself if you have that option. Please go ahead. Any one of these.
now Astha,
Yes, sir.
now please give vote of thanks.
We are truly grateful for the presence of our distinguished speaker, Mr. Arvind T. Sir, who has joined us to share his wisdom and experience. On behalf of DSPSR, I sincerely thank you, sir, for being with us today, and our moderator, Ms. Taj, for taking up the responsibility to conduct this session gracefully. My gratitude also goes to our respected dignities, faculty members, and my fellow students for making this event possible. Thank you all for wishing everyone an insightful and enriching session ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Arvind.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for this amazing opportunity.
Joining.
Thank you. Thank you.